Hey, it's Andy back again with another video. What I want to talk about this afternoon is the M2 Mac Mini. And I bought the M2 Mac Mini to replace this guy. This is the 2020 MacBook Pro 13-inch. It's the base model, basically, although it does have 16 gigabytes of RAM. And I bought this in early, or whenever it was, mid-2020. Because I needed a new computer. I was actually fully aware that the M1 was about to be released. I thought it was exciting. I really kind of don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking a few things. I was thinking, well, you know, it's going to be a new system, it's going to be a new chip. Who knows if it's going to, you know, be perfect at the beginning, and who knows if there's going to be problems. At that point, we didn't know how good M1 was going to be. We just had these ideas that it was going to be good. And then I thought, well, what if, you know, the websites that I use for work aren't optimized to use M1 yet? And so at the end of it, I made a really bad decision, and I got this Intel Core i5 13-inch MacBook Mini, MacBook. And at the beginning, it worked okay. It worked okay. Did it have more power than I needed? Absolutely not. It did not. Was it a really great laptop? It really was. It really was a great laptop. I mean, you can see it's whatever. It's beautiful. Got a beautiful screen. Obviously, the Mac OS is awesome. I love it. And the problem came recently, I would say maybe 4 or 5 months ago. And I think I've told you guys before, I'm an online teacher. I teach English online, and I use Zoom to teach my classes. When I'm on Zoom, I was using a noise canceling software called Crisp. And like all noise canceling softwares, it was using a lot of CPU. And it got to the point 4 or 5 months ago that when I was in a class, if I was using Zoom and I was using the AI noise canceling software, my computer was lagging. There was just not enough CPU power to do exactly what I wanted to do. So it started to become obvious that I was going to need to get a new computer. So that's what I did. And I got the M2 Mac Mini, which as a computer is just awesome. I mean, it's the first time I've ever had a computer that has more power than I need. When I'm running Zoom, noise canceling software, applications in the background, it doesn't matter. It just does everything perfectly. So it's really amazing when I've really never had a computer that had more power than I needed until this one. So it's been a really fun experience. Been really fun, and I've really enjoyed it. So okay. One funny thing about the M2, you know the Apple smell, like the smell when you open up a new product from Apple. It's a really good smell. I actually really like it. I think a lot of people probably like it. The day that I got the M2 Mac Mini and brought it home, I plugged it in and started to work with it. And then I left for a few hours and came back. And when I came back, the entire room had that Apple smell in it. And I mean, I assume it's because the M2 is always, oh, what did I do? I left that on. The M2 is always, the fan is always running. It seems like it always runs about 1700 RPM. So, and it's completely silent. I mean, you can't hear it. There's no audible noise coming from it, but it always runs about 16 or 1700 RPM. So I think that it was the Apple smell inside the M2, and it was kind of blowing it out into the air. And I don't know, it was pleasant. It was a nice thing to come back to. Okay, so this is the M2 Mac Mini. It's got 16 gigabytes of RAM, and I did get the 512 gigabyte SSD. I love to watch tech YouTube. obviously, since I like to do the videos, and I did see about the slow disk speeds. Now, does it really matter? I honestly don't think so. I really don't, but I watched them enough to where I figured it's probably worth it. Plus, I was pretty sure that I wanted to do gaming on this Mac Mini, and I thought that, you know, some games, I mean, they're like 100 gigabytes. So I thought, well, it's probably worth it to just pay for the extra storage. And if I don't use it, I don't use it. But at least I have the, you know, whatever, the high disk speed, and I have the space if I need to, whatever, keep storage or do what you do with space. I don't know. Okay. I see a lot of reviews and they talk about how the design of the Mac Mini is outdated, and I never had one before, but I think it's beautiful. I mean, I don't see why you would change the design. It seems to me to be absolutely perfect. I really like it a lot. I like to look at it. It's gorgeous. I think it's a great design. So well done, Apple. I think it's great. One thing that's interesting, one thing that I've noticed about the M2, and I don't know if this is true or not, it could just be in my mind, but I swear it adapts to what you're doing and then it's able to do it using less power. I swear when I first got this, it was running with more power than it does right now. So for example, when I'm in Zoom, it's pulling less than 10 watts, right? The entire system, less than 10 watts. It's about 20% CPU and about 10 watts. And I swear when I got it, it was using 13, 14, 15 watts. I mean, maybe this is something that is just common knowledge and it adapts to what you do and gets better at doing it. I don't know if that's part of the neural engine that's in it, but it's something that I've noticed. I don't know if it's real or not, but at the very least, it's interesting. It's something interesting that I've noted. So I thought I'd do a couple of benchmarks just because, I mean, not that you need to see more benchmarks about the M2. I know that you've seen probably plenty of those. But I thought that it would be interesting to show the difference between what I was using and what I am using, because trust me, there is a huge difference. Okay, so there's only a couple of benchmarks that I like, and so I'm gonna do Geekbench 6, and I'm gonna do it down here on the MacBook Pro, if I can find it. Ah, yeah. Okay, so we'll just run the CPU. Timing doesn't really matter. And okay, so we'll take a look at what that looks like. Okay, so there's our Geekbench 6 scores, and you can see there's quite a big difference. I brought in the iPad Air 4 just for fun, just to see how this iPad compares to my Intel MacBook Pro. And that's annoying. Oh, I have Do Not Disturb on? Okay, anyway, you can see that the iPad Air is actually more powerful than the MacBook Pro, which is, to me, it's kind of an exciting result. It's really interesting. You can see that the M2 Mac Mini just obviously destroys it. I mean, it's got more than double the multi-core score, more than double the single core score, and the crazy thing is, this is a good computer. I mean, I don't know if I would say it's the most powerful computer, but it is a great computer. And it might have sounded like I was being negative about this. Really what it is it's more my excitement about the M2 Mac Mini and how awesome that is. But this is a great computer. Since I got the M2 Mac Mini, I've been using this computer just to do normal stuff. And for normal stuff, it's great. they actually, you probably know this, but they actually started, or they incorporated a low power mode into the MacBook Pros. And so when I'm using it, I never have it plugged in, and I have it automatically to, when it's on battery power, to go to low power mode. And when it's in low power mode, it runs not very hot. The fans don't get very loud, and the battery lasts a lot longer. So it's very nice. It's very nice to use like that. Like I said, it just didn't have enough power to do what I was doing for my work. And I think Zoom is actually a pretty heavy application. Although you wouldn't know that if you were just using the M2, you would think, Zoom, what's the big deal? Because it just handles it like it's nothing. Like I said, when I'm on Zoom, this is using 10 watts. Okay, so it's using, it says 11.8 watts right now, but that's just because of my my screensaver that I have on. Normally it idles at about 6.5 or 7 watts. So when I'm on a Zoom call, it's usually about 9.5 watts, 9.8 watts. So that's less than 3 watts that this thing takes to run Zoom, which to me is kind of mind-blowing, but really awesome anyway. Okay, so I want to do one more benchmark. I haven't decided if I'm going to do the third one or not yet. But anyway, let's do this next benchmark, and it's a really cool one, so I'm excited to show you. So let's do that. Okay, I'm gonna keep the Mac Mini, or sorry, the iPad Air 4 in here just for fun. So the next benchmark I want to show you, it's a really cool benchmark that I actually found in the App Store, and I never even heard of it before, but it's fun. It's called 8 Queens, and it does these calculations. I don't really know much about chess, but anyway, it does these calculations, and let's see, where is it? 8 Queens. Okay, it does these calculations. I'm gonna put it on 2 threads, just for fun. You can do 1, 2, or 4 threads, and it's cool that it works on the iPad and the Mac. Okay, so the time doesn't matter. So I'll just push start, and start, and start. Okay, so the iPad Air 4 did what? 16,777,216 calculations in 4.7 seconds. The Mac Mini did it in 1.7 seconds, which is pretty awesome. And the MacBook Pro did it in 4.2 seconds. So in this situation, the MacBook Pro actually did it better than the iPad Air 4. It's interesting. Let's just do it one more time, just for fun. Okay. All right, so it looks exactly the same. 4.7 over here, 4.2, and 1.7 seconds. So, fun. All right. I think that's all I'm going to do for benchmarks. I don't think that you really need to see any more benchmarks. I just wanted to give an idea about how it looked. So that's cool. All right, well, thanks for joining me for another video. Appreciate you sticking with me if you're here at the end. Really, really exciting stuff. I'm so thrilled. Literally thrilled. Every day I get to use the M2, and I come in and I do work a lot. I work all day long, and it's really a pleasure to be able to use a computer that's that good, and it makes my day better. It makes me happy, and I really, really appreciate that there is a computer out there that's like this. Okay. I want to do another video at some point. I might do it soon, about gaming on the M2 Mac Mini. because, spoiler alert, it's actually an incredible gaming machine. It really is. I've always heard, you know, forever, that you can't game on a Mac. And while that may have been true with the Intel Macs, it is definitely not true with the M2 Mac Mini, at least. I think it's probably also fully doable on the M1s, but I don't have an M1, so I can tell you that 100% you can game, and game well, on the M2 Mac Mini. It's not just, oh yeah, it runs and it's okay. No, I mean, you can run games on ultra settings, and they're amazing, and they run great. So I'll probably do a video about that soon. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great day. See you. Bye.